Standing here in the Coume de Roy, you can actually see, just in this one spot, the example of the sort of history of the region and several generations of planting and then neglect. So down in front of you in the valley floor you've got some quite healthy looking vines. There's even, right in the middle of the picture now, a sort of brownish patch, long and thin, that I think has just been replanted with young vines. And then looking further up the slope, there's a field of vines there which are also recently planted. But the vines right in front of us are extremely old, maybe 80, 90, 100 years old. And here's the section of vines that we pulled out last year because they just weren't yielding anything at all. Here is a section of vines that we don't own, but was our neighbour until about 4 years ago when they were pulled out. That's the old mass that used to be occupied many years ago, but is now a ruin. And then up on the hillside you can see two large blocks of vines which have just been neglected. The vines are still there, no one's pulled them out, but they're completely grown over. And then looking further up the hill, you can see stone terraces, which many years ago would have been built in order to have vines on them, and there's probably wild old vines still growing up there, even though completely covered by natural garrigue and bush. And then just looking right further up the valley, there's a proper plantation of good new vines right at the top there. Those parallel rows of green at the top of the vineyard, they belong to Jacques Montagnier of Coume de Roy. And just going around the other side of the valley you can see a vineyard that's really just given up the ghost. There's just no water there and the vines are almost all dead without having been... It looks like they're still being farmed because they're still very clean around them, but there must be almost no grapes at all. So there in a little microcosm you have the glorious Coume de Roy.